What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about a problem with the combat AR that may impact whether or not you want to use it if you're a controller player. As always, if you guys do find this video helpful, informative, interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below if you're going to keep using the combat AR or if you're going to switch to something else. And this is mainly going to be for controller players, because what the problem is that the combat AR has either no hipfire aim assist at all, or very, very little aim assist when you're hip firing. So I'm going to have a clip on screen now of me basically spinning in a circle. And in a real game, you would never really be spinning like this. But you'll see when I have the Thunderburst SMG or the Enforcer AR out, when I drag over the person, the speed at which I'm spinning at is slowed down a lot. And this is what aim assist does. It lowers your sensitivity when you're on somebody. But you'll see when I have the combat AR out, the speed that I'm spinning at doesn't really change at all from my perspective. Maybe it does a little bit and I'm just not noticing it as much. But even if it does change, it's certainly not changing to the degree that the Thunderburst or the Enforcer AR is. And I kind of wanted to test it with the Thunderburst because I feel like that's going to be the easiest plug and play alternative, like next best spray weapon in the game right now. And then I also wanted to show the Enforcer AR in these clips to show that it's not just like an SMG versus AR thing. The combat AR just has pretty much no or incredibly little hipfire aim assist. And I think for a lot of controller players, this is going to impact you, especially if you're using the Gatekeeper shotgun, and especially if you're using a Gatekeeper shotgun without drum mag on it, or if you're using the hammer pump. If you're using the combat shotgun or Oscar's auto shotgun, it really wouldn't be that big of a deal to you. I feel like you're not swapping back and forth too much, or you're not going to need to swap as much with either of those weapons. But with the pump combat AR playstyle, you'll have to swap back and forth. And then with the Gatekeeper shotgun, mainly the one with 3 rounds, there's a decent chance a close range fight might end in you needing to swap to the combat AR to finish like with hipfire spray. And I've kind of felt like this during the entirety of the season so far using the Mythic combat AR. A lot of people love it and it is incredibly good, but I never felt that comfortable hip firing with it. Like if I was using the Mythic Gatekeeper shotgun and the combat AR and I needed to go to that hip fire if, like, let's say 3 shots didn't get the job done, or I get third partied, which happens a lot this season, I felt like the hip fire of the combat AR, it always just felt off to me. And I'm thinking now it's the fact that the aim assist is just pretty much non-existent. So if you're in that camp, if you're using like the Mythic Gatekeeper a lot, I would suggest using a Thunderburst SMG or trying to get a Gatekeeper with drum mag on it. The combat AR is still incredibly good and it's still a very, very, very powerful weapon. It's not bad by any means, but you might just want to stop using it if you're a controller player and if you're finding yourself in this situation a lot. I think the Thunderburst SMG is a great replacement. The Thunderburst SMG has been incredible for all of Chapter 5. Even a lot of times before I knew this, I was kind of wanting to use the Thunderburst over the Mythic Combat AR anyways. And if I was playing like duos, I had no problem at all letting my friend have the Mythic Combat AR and then using a Thunderburst myself. I think the Thunderburst has been very good for all of Chapter 5, like I said, and very good mainly this season because of how many fights are in close range. It just seems like I'm always fighting around cars, always fighting people running from me. If you're, 80 meters out, sure, I would much rather have a combat AR there than a Thunderburst SMG, but I feel like those long range fights really aren't happening that much this season. And I feel like if you're fighting somebody that actually matters, like a decent opponent, they're not just going to sit 100 meters away and let you AR them to death. With how much mobility is in the game, like nitro cars, the guitar, the nitro gloves, shockwaves. There's so much mobility in the game right now that, like, if you're long range shooting at somebody, they're probably just going to run away. And you're going to probably need mobility of yourself to chase. You could make the argument the combat AR is better for, when somebody is running away from you with gloves. Like, let's say you get on somebody, you shotgun them twice, and then they're, like, gloving away. And that is kind of true, but also when they're gloving away, they kind of start in close range, and then they get further away as time goes on. So the Burst SMG is also great for most of those encounters, too, I feel like. Like, anything like 50, 60 meters or under, I feel like the Thunderburst is probably just as good as the combat AR. It's the longer ranges where it really falls off in comparison. But like I already said, I feel like those longer ranges just aren't as relevant in the current season as they were in the past because of how prevalent cars are and because of how much mobility there is in the game. And if you guys have been paying attention for a lot of Chapter 5, you're probably well aware that the Thunderburst SMG's hipfire is perfectly accurate if you have the laser sight attachment. So if you put the laser on your Thunderburst, then you have perfectly accurate hipfire, which is great for those moments when you have to swap to it. Not only are you going to have more accurate hipfire, you're going to have better aim assist if you're a controller player. In situations where you maybe like glove and then want to shoot down on somebody in the air, I feel like the Thunderburst works great for that, and that's a situation that's also happening a lot this season. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I'm sure a lot of you are going to hear this information and you're like, I don't care, I'm still going to use the combat AR, and that's great. Like I said, I think it's a good weapon. I just wanted to put this out there for those of you who maybe have felt like there's something off with the hipfire if you're a controller player, but you didn't quite know what it was. It's not just you. The aim assist on the gun is broken. And so some of you might want to use something else. Some of you might not want to. And either way is fine. I just thought that if you're a controller player, this information would be really valuable to you. So that is it for this. If you guys found this helpful, informative, interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like some more. Comment down below if you're still going to be using the combat AR. I could go either way. If I'm using the Mythic Gatekeeper shotgun, I really want a Thunderburst, or if for some reason I'm using a Gatekeeper without a drum, I really want the Thunderburst. But once I have drum on my Gatekeeper, then it's really not the end of the world to me to use the combat AR, but it's also not the end of the world to me to use the Burst SMG. It's not that big of a deal either way. It's just if I'm using the Mythic or a 3-round Gatekeeper, then I really want something other than the combat AR to be my spray weapon. Well, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to let some gameplay play out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Why can you EMP yourself but not your teammates? I'm not sure. Probably just because they don't want people being toxic. Like, Boogie's worked on teammates, but I feel like they try to limit how much friendly fire is in the game. I used to get, like, strategically team killed all the time in Fortnite in the early days, bro. I'd be fighting somebody, and a lot of shotgun fights in the early Fortnite days kind of played out like how zero build fights do, where you might be, like, near your opponent. Y'all are both kind of, like, jumping and strafing around with shotguns, right? Somewhat near each other, and then an RPG would just hit near me and kill me and the enemy. That was what Maddie and F would do. And then get the loot and then revive me. I feel like it was all just for the loot. But yeah, you used to just be able to straight up team kill. And it would, like, anytime people got good loot playing with randoms, they would just get, like, team killed for their, like, scar or whatever. And there was no rebooting back then, so if someone just, if your teammate just fucking killed you, you're out of the game. I want to drop on this, but I don't have dashes. If I had dashes, I would have dropped on it there. There's an AI anyways. I forgot I have nitro, so no fall damage. Boogies are the only thing that cause friendly fire? Yeah, I think so. Aside from, like, fall damage, but yeah. Or cars. Can't you, like, hit your teammates and cause them fall damage with the car, kinda? Yeah, I was gonna say, it's hard for me to play this because, like, this building is one that has, like, the invisible walls. And so I, like, don't even know what walls are actually here or not. I need a Matador skin for this season. I thought he was shooting at the last player with his turret. Oh, yeah. An AI. I was surprised how many of those remaining players were real. Because when I was like, how is there still 10 people left alive? I thought it was just all AI left. Because that'll happen when there's like way too many AI and the end game is just like nobody kills each other at all because it's all drones. And so like the lobby doesn't die. But there was like half of them were real at that point. There was AI, but like I know I killed somebody that had 420 in their name and there's like a few crown players.